Okay, I've got the class dojo. You may have noticed that I was giving points. I heard a lot of math talk. Tell me something you said while you were working with a partner. Something that you said. Yes, Carter.
Why did you choose that strategy?
Why did you choose that strategy? That's an awesome thing to ask a partner. What else did you use? Caroline. I agree with you because. That's an awesome thing to say as well.
How do you know your answer is correct?
How do you know your answer is correct? Always a good one. Gemma.
This makes me think.
Okay, so something that someone else said makes you think of something, okay? So it's kind of like that building on again, all right? So class dojo we're getting 2 points this time for every time I hear math talk, and I heard a lot of it this time, which was really nice to hear. The first thing I opened the lesson with was a number talk, and that's usually like a 10 or 15 minute time, and it's just to kind of get them warmed up and to start using language that is part accountable talk. And what I like about that part of it is that they can express all kinds of different strategies, and they come up with some amazing things through that time.
Math talk is like you can like talk to each other in like math. Like it's like a kind of math talk.
And then 6 ones. I like how you're best. I like how you're writing, so we get each side on there. So I want this whole space, and you don't get it. I like how we get as much space as we need.
It's basically like words that describe how you solved it, and like some just math words that really work, and it just helps.
Then you can actually figure out the answer to it and use math talk to figure it out, because by yourself you can't just figure it out. Like if you were using a chart and you had no idea, and it was like a 12 was like double of something, and that was half of something. That would be hard to figure out by yourself. You would need a group talk or a shoulder partner.
So that would equal 8, and the dogs have 4 legs.
7.
What? This? No, it's a 2, see?
Yeah, because that 2 isn't really good.
You can talk to each other, so you can you can know it better.
You're like, I respectfully disagree. You're saying it nice in a nicer way than oh, you got it wrong.
Because if you laugh at them, they might laugh at you, and then they won't feel good, or you won't feel good.
How do you know your answer is correct?
Because I counted. Because I counted after I guessed.
What keywords helped you understand?
Because you can explain your thinking, and you can see if you are right, and if you're wrong, or if your partner's right and you're wrong, or if your partner's wrong.
That would equal 4.
Yeah, but a dog is sick. A dog is the same because a dog 8 first.
Yeah, I did the same with that.
And I'm listening to their conversations, and one of them sometimes is saying, why did you choose to do that way? And so it's part of that accountable talk where they are accountable to each other, because one of the main principles of accountable talk is that you're accountable to the learning community. And so when you're seeing that interaction, I think that's really an important part of the lesson, because they have to listen. They're not just thinking about what they're going to say next and how they're going to, do their own idea, but they try to build on each other's ideas. And I love that, because I think it makes for a very kind of a formal conversation in a way, by framing it with those words, but they learn from each other because they actually have to listen in order to move to the next step. I see 3 different strategies here, and I'm sure we can come up, I know, you guys are awesome at this, but I'm going to move on from this, because I want you to think about this question. Do you feel like these are pretty efficient strategies? Yes. Do you agree with that? Okay. What do I mean when I say efficient?
Agreeing, disagreeing. This means you have an answer. This means you have more than one. Still thinking and still thinking.
To get the answer to the problem.
Okay. Can anybody build on Caroline's answer? Colton?
I would like to build on Caroline's idea by saying it's not just that, it's precise.
Okay.
Very precise.
All right. And what does that mean? We kind of need to know what precise means when we're using it, right, Carter?
Exact.
It means exact, okay? So they know that they can't just say yes or no, that is always going to be followed by, I think that because. They know that. So I'm asking a lot of them, but they really understand it's a safe environment and that, they're not going to be made fun of in this place, and this is some place they can be themselves and think deep thoughts.
Yeah, they each have 4 legs. Yeah, except the bird, they have 2. Yeah, maybe they don't understand it because maybe they don't. Maybe they don't understand the B and the C and the D. Maybe they don't understand it.
They're all really strong in their opinions, which I love, and they kind of feed off each other a little bit, and I love when they have a conversation because I can really see how one kid can really inspire another one through those conversations. And to me, that's really the heart of our lessons is how they are listening really well to each other and able to build on each other's thoughts.
You have to do that, and then you have to draw a picture. So what I was thinking is like 4 plus 4 equals 8, and then 4 plus 4 again.
1. 2 other parts of accountable talk kind of come in there, and one of them is you're accountable to the knowledge. And so they have to be pretty precise. They have to understand what they're doing. So when I have them read and reread, like the problem of the day, they have to really, really think about what it's asking. Today's lesson led to some place I did not expect it to go, which is always fascinating because of the zeros, the potential for zeros in the problem. And I did not anticipate that, but I thought that was one of the best parts of the lesson. We're having a discussion over here about the zeros. Has anybody else had that discussion yet? All right, so look at if you have any zeros, and I have a couple people who think there can be zeros, and I think I just have one who thinks there can't be, right? Okay, so you have to defend your position. Can you do that?
Do you think?
Okay, so see if you think there should be zeros on the chart or not.
She sees birds, cats, and dogs in the center. But that doesn't mean there can just be she sees. No, there can't be any zeros. Yes, there can. She says she sees cats, dogs, and birds.
Yeah, there can be zeros.
Yeah, there could.
Yeah, there could. Yes, there could. Because it says could.
So like say I had an answer wrong, and they say, I respectfully disagree because I don't think you have the right answer. And I say, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I got it wrong. And then they say, go reread it, and I figure out. Yeah, it's really important because it uses things that help you learn.
They thought there wasn't 3 people in my group thought there was supposed to be zeros, and I was the only one that didn't think there was supposed to be zeros because I thought could was a different word, like a different meaning than they thought it. But they were right and I was wrong, but I was making a mark on the brain. The mark on the brain is where you're learning. When you make a mistake, you're learning more.
And that kind of leads to the third part of accountable talk, which is you're accountable to rigorous thinking. And that really gets to the depth of knowledge where you are defending your position, you're evaluating it. Lots of skills going on there. So I think the accountable talk and the math format of those kind of lessons really work well together.
I think you should get there by what you were just doing, but there's no 100 in it. You were right about 90. just, I don't think you ever said the other one.
When you're working cooperatively in groups, many times if you see children, a lot of times they're talking over each other and that whole thing. This gives it more of a structure, a framework, and I think that's a piece that I was kind of looking for as a teacher. So I know, that other teachers have found that same thing, and it's really helpful to me because it frames their conversation, but I know they're listening. I can tell if they've listened. And I can do pretty much a formative assessment at that point on a child and on their level of understanding as I'm listening to them, which is not something I really thought of as part of math so much. You can do it with any subject area, but I love that I can walk around and I can hear amazing thinking. It's like opening the child's head and looking inside, and I get to see what's actually happening. And I love that process. I think it's so helpful to them and how they relate to their peers. And explain how you challenged yourself today. I saw lots of people step up to the plate today with their math talk words that it was just wonderful to see, really. I saw lots of people challenging themselves.